Hi guys, it's Summer with Pascal Blanc Art Studio and Gallery, and I know we're all kind of trapped at home right now, including myself, but I still want you guys to do some exercises while we have this off time to keep everything fresh, and when all of this is over, you'll be one step ahead of the game, okay? So today I'm doing a quick tutorial on shading a sphere, and this is good because it will help you shade anything as your skills progress. This is a exercise that all ages can do, so feel free to gather the family around and try it all together.
Now, I want you to keep in mind, I'm going to be sketching a little darker so you guys can see. When you first start to sketch, you want to sketch really light. You want to be able to erase lines you don't like as much. I'm going to show you a couple of tools first. You can use anything around your house, okay? A simple number 2 pencil, printer paper, a ruler. You could even use a straight edge of a book if you don't have a ruler, and that's perfectly fine for learning the important techniques of shading. One tip I would say to kind of get your hands and your mind ready for shading is you take your pencil and you're gonna show value. And what I mean by value is it's the lightness or darkness of any color. To exercise this, I'm going to take the pencil and I'm going to draw as hard as I can on one side. And I'm going to try to gradually decrease the pressure as I go across the paper. And you can see I'm creating the value. Another tip I would give you is you don't really want to have a very sharp pencil when you first start out. That can create very straight lines that don't blend very well. So try to hold it from the side, or what I call the overhand grip. And it'll also give you a lot more pencil to work with than just a straight line. So let's start with another clean sheet of paper. We're going to go ahead and draw a circle. Okay, remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just getting the idea of the shape. And what's very important to remember is where our light is coming from. In this example, if I have our light source coming from here, it's going to affect how the light hits the sphere and how the shadow is reflected. So an easy way to get that is, with your ruler or your straight edge, you draw a line from one side of the circle and the other side from the light all the way down to where our surface would be. So this is kind of like our fake table, and our surface is here. Now underneath the sphere, that is going to mark where our shadow is. So here's the light, here's the reflection, and our shadow is going to be right here. Okay, I'm going to use a couple shades of blue. You can do this with chalk, you can do it with colored pencil, and once your skills improve, you can eventually learn how to do it with paint. So keep an eye up on our upcoming videos. First, you're going to start with your lighter blue. You can start practicing with one color. I'm just going to show you it with two. So we want to start off with the lighter color so we don't have too dark of an outline. Keep in mind I'm going to draw a little darker for you guys, but so go ahead and draw that circle. Like I said, it's okay if it looks kind of weird. So we have our light source, right? So we know if the light source is here, we're going to have our darker shadow here. It's going to come to about down here and here. So this is going to be where our shadow is, okay? And we know our darker area is going to be here. So now that I know where my shadow is, I go to the darker blue, and I'm going to start just by outlining the sphere a little better just down where it's the darker part. Okay, and I'm going to start using the dark value. You want to go ahead and fill that in a little bit. And as we go towards the center, that's where we're going to get a little lighter. You can go less pressure each area you go up, okay? Now before we go any further, we want to also note that even though this is our darkest value, the darkest part of the shadow is also under the sphere. So we're going to go ahead and make this dark. It doesn't have to be as dark as the object, but you want to show that that's the darkest part of the shadow. And now that we have these two areas done, I'm going to switch over to the other blue and start putting in the medium value or the mid-tone. And you can see that it's kind of blending with that other blue. And then you start going up and up. Now remember, the light's hitting here. Okay, so this is our highlight. So we want to keep that very light. So I want you to just kind of go around the highlight and fill in this medium value. We'll go around the edge, shade that in. Same on this side, shade that in, okay? Because remember, we could always go darker, but you can't necessarily erase all the time. So now that we got to the highlight, the object still has color, but we don't want a lot. So you're just really lightly going to just draw a blue over that part and just blend it a little bit on the edges so we don't see any kind of straight lines. Okay. Now I'm going to go down to the reflected shadow or the cast shadow and do the same thing with that color. And you can see I'm kind of blending it with this other blue, and I'm going to go lighter and lighter as the shadow goes out. Okay, now that we have that, you can go back and add in our really dark values and actually work on blending it a little more. You can also go the opposite way that you did the first time, and that'll smooth out some of those lines. And you can see that it's making it nice and smooth, and that's what the key is to shading, is to make it look like it has no lines. It's just a nice smooth color, okay? And that's basically it.
Okay, so there you have it. Simple shading technique. Like I said, this is the beginning of shading. Join me for future videos. We're going to go into more detail, more technique, and have a little fun with family activities. Thank you again for joining me. My name is Summer with Pascal Blanc. Stay safe out there. Bye.